All right, welcome back, and I have in the studio with me today Bruce Workman. Bruce Workman is head of sales and marketing here at theDove, but the reason Bruce is with me, he's got years and years and years experience in television. He's been around this business for a long time, and I've asked him to be with me today to talk about something that I've been involved with now for a couple of years, and it's been brewing and brewing, and now it's to the point where it has surfaced, and we're asking you, the viewers, not only of theDove, but any of your families and friends that watch television and what we know as free TV, we need for you to take some action. And Bruce, as you well know, we've been working behind the scenes to protect the low-power television licenses and the translator licenses of a lot of broadcasters all over the country.
Well, right, Perry, and when we say we've been working on this a couple of years, actually sometimes it feels like we've been working on it for 10 years. However, I went back. Look at this. Look at the file. This is, this is just one file. And if we go back, we've actually been working on this since 2012.
Well, there you go. What's happened is this. Let me just kind of condense what the problem is. The FCC has been looking at what they call a spectrum auction, and I won't get on to the technical details, it'll bore you to death. Here's the bottom line. They have now reduced it all the way down to about channel 21. And all LPTV stations, some high-power stations, even some Class A stations that are channel 21 and up, are being threatened of being confiscated by the FCC and those frequencies sold to wireless companies. Now, you're saying why? That answer is a long one. Bottom line is to take away free TV as we know it. 37% of viewing, television viewing in the country now, and higher in some areas, is what we call free TV, over the air, from your antenna. And all of that's improved when they force us to go digital. Now they want to take it all away and give us nothing in return. Nothing. And so that's Bruce's file. This is my file. And I've been speaking out on this for quite some time. And so as we pull back what's going on here, we realized that we here in Southern Oregon had a little bit of an angle to help fight the fight. Congressman Greg Walden, who takes in the 2nd Congressional District in the state of Oregon, huge district, and it covers Southern Oregon, chairs the subcommittee that oversees the FCC, better known as the Telecommunications Commission, or Committee. And so under his committee watch, this is happening. And so we actually asked Congressman Walden, took us quite a while to get on his schedule to have him here, but this past August, you well know, Bruce, we had him here, and we had every television operator in the state here. We had some television operators from Washington state come in, some from California, some from Nevada. The president of the NRB came out, so we kind of had our own little mini congressional hearing with the congressman to find out how could we stop this. And so we're down to the point now where we're asking you, viewers across the landscape, to begin to call your congressman or your congresswoman and ask them to protect free TV and to stop the auction that is set for March. And what am I leaving out from your perspective?
Well, a lot of frustration is what you're leaving out.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, when we first started this, we felt like if we got into it early, we could present a logical presentation as to how to actually help the FCC or our Congressman Walden to craft a way of using unused television spectrum, free it up for the wireless community. And there was a significant amount of unused spectrum out there.
And there still is.
And there still is.
Right.
And so we over the last couple of years, we've done our research. We belong to a couple of coalitions that have been working on presenting a logical way to get this spectrum for the wireless, and there is a need for the wireless. But each time we would present this, it was like talking to a brick wall.
And that's kind of where we are, folks. I got to tell you this, there is no legitimate reason for the FCC to do this. None. There are other frequency spectrums that could satisfy what they're trying to do, number one. Number two is there is no legal reason for them to confiscate our licenses. We have done nothing wrong to have our licenses taken away. And the LPTV state licenses, they say, well, they're secondary licenses. That's true. But they're only secondary to a high power station where there would be possibly a frequency interference. Well, none of us would take on a frequency that would interfere with another station that would force us to go off the air.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do that.
No.
And so it is one of the most, let me put it to you in Oregon terms. The FCC wants to clear-cut television industry and not replant.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing to have happen. We're down to the boiling point. From today on, you're going to start seeing spots on all television stations. You're going to see spots produced by the national religious broadcasters. They're launching their nationwide campaign. And theDove, because we hosted this meeting here at theDove, we now have been, myself, have been catapulted into kind of a major portion of this. I've been dealing with attorneys, I've been dealing with lobby groups, I've been dealing with station owners. It's amazing. This is just the legal file. Has nothing to do with the communication file of people that I've been talking to. And folks, we're in it for our lives. Now I can tell you this, if a high power station is taken over by the FCC, they can voluntarily sell that for money, even a Class A station. But for us low-power television stations, which is just a classification, really has nothing about low power. There are some of them are major power, theDove being one of them. We get zero compensation, zero.
Yeah, not only do we not get zero compensation, but it's going to cost the industry, the LPTV industry, a ton of money to do the relocation. Redo all of your marketing, redoing your brand if you have to move to another channel. And of course, it's just convoluted. And I guess the light bulb came on in our minds about a year or so ago that it's bigger than what we thought it was.
It's huge. It impacts the entire industry. It will impact a lot of stations that have translators. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the technology. Here's what we're asking you to do. Now, I want you to be nice about this, and I want you to be gracious about this. But we are asking you to call Congressman Walden's office, or you can email his office. And there on the screen here at theDove, you'll see Congressman Walden's Medford office number, 776-4646. He chairs the committee that literally could stop this. It's as simple as that. He could rally the troops and the members of his committee to push back the FCC. Now, the idea would be get the auction canceled. I don't think that's going to happen. But we could get the auction postponed to get it kicked into another administration. There's a lot of politics behind this, and it's ugly. So we're asking you to call Congressman Walden's office or send him an email and ask him to protect free TV and to do what he can to stop the FCC from taking away television licenses in March. March is a key thing. The auction is set for March 29th. I, in February, will be going to the NRB not only to receive our award as Station of the Year, but to be working with the committee there at the NRB on how to stop this from happening. I'm also asking you to send this message to other family members and friends who watch television over what we call the air, the free TV, off your antennas, because that is a part of television viewing that is growing like crazy. It's just huge.
Well, it really is, and it's interesting to see how this, you know, in the early years when I started, translators for full power television was important, particularly in our rural areas where we live right here, because you've got all of the terrain, and so you need these translator sites. And now that we've gone digital, the antenna is becoming more and more important to local homeowners because you have all of these side channels now. Mm-hmm. And so what we're seeing is over the air, what we would call off-air viewing, is increasing. That could all be in jeopardy if we start losing these translator sites.
Well, the appetite that the FCC has in selling this these frequencies could be satisfied by going to another spectrum, not into the LP, TV, or the translator spectrum, or even into some of the high power in the Class A channel areas. About over 400 stations in Oregon alone could be impacted by this. Over 400 stations just in Oregon alone, and translators, could be impacted by this. And folks, all of you who helped us to get on the air and to be here, I can't sleep at night knowing that, and this has been part of my argument even when I've testified on some of these committees. I've said, look, we have gone to our viewers and asked them to support us so that we could reach more people, and you're just going to arbitrarily wipe us out? You're just going to, boom, say you're gone? Or force us to go to another channel and spend money that we don't have to stay on the air? You're saying, why is the FCC doing it? That's a whole other argument, and quite frankly, I don't want to go down that road right now. But folks, I'm asking you to tell your family and friends to call their congressperson and to tell them, protect free TV, and to stop the auction in March of taking channels away. You can call Congressman Walden. Congressman Walden really holds the power to this.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about our viewers and how supportive they are of the Dove, and we're just so thankful and we're so blessed by that. But I think what we do is we look at this almost as a political campaign in itself, and we are starting a grassroots campaign. We've kind of put the backbone of it together, and now we're going to be bringing our viewers into this. And you're going to see this across the country, where other stations are going to be appealing to their viewership to do the same thing that Perry and I are doing here. And that is, and then we'll let the FCC know, we'll let Congress know. From the consumer, the customer.
Yeah.
And that's where it's so frustrating, is because all along it's like, okay, what about the viewer? How does this impact the viewer, our customer?
Well, I got to tell you this, that more and more people are what they call cutting the cord, coming off of satellite, coming out of cable. I get that for various reasons, cost being one of them. But they're going back to over-the-air viewing because the industry's forced us to go digital. And when we went digital, not only did we give you a better picture, but we're giving you sub-channels.
Right.
So the variety of programming that's available over the air is huge and growing. And so to have that completely wiped out, we're stunned. We're absolutely stunned. We thought for the last several years that we could be working with our members of Congress and other people to stop this. We had a lot of legal argument that we could stop this. But the FCC is doing what Obama's been doing all along. They're just using executive powers without real authority and just doing their own thing, saying, you guys go ahead and challenge us down the road. Well, we haven't got the money to do all of that kind of stuff. So folks, I'm asking you to call Congressman Walden's office. I'm asking you to do it politely. I'm asking you to share with your family members or friends, to call their Congress representative and say, please stop the auction in March and protect free TV. That's the message. Stop the FCC auction in March, protect free TV. Look, it's not only us Christian broadcasters. By the way, 63% of LP TV licenses in the United States are operated by Christian organizations.
Imagine that.
And why is the commission, that sounds conspiratorial, but why do they want to wipe that bunch out?
You have to bring that up.
You have to bring that up. 63% of these licenses that are being threatened are being run by Christian broadcasters. And when I got my nose into this several years ago, I realized I was in for a real ride, as you well know, Bruce. Yeah. So folks, call Congressman Walden, ask him to stop the FCC auction in March and protect free TV. Tell your family members and friends, and you're going to hear about this a lot nationwide and including here on the Dove, starting today, right on through until the auction. Yeah. And I will be doing more shows about this in the future. But thank you for understanding. I am asking you to do this politely, but this is where the people need to be heard. Remember, your legislative and elected officials work for you. Right. They work for you. So call them and let them know. Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
All right, we'll be right back.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at thedove.us.